Gender-based violence continues to plague our society. It has gradually become a thorn in the flesh of our communities. Recent reports show more violence is being perpetrated against men, including a recent case of a woman pouring kerosene on her husband and setting him on fire. Another woman has been reported of stabbing her husband to death. While some women have joined this alarming wave, men continue to lead the statistics with recurrent cases of femicide regularly surfacing in our communities. Hello there. Thanks for joining us on another edition of Let's Talk here on Chris Black's Mindset. Today, we're talking gender-based violence, and this time we're talking healing from gender-based violence. Working with Common Action for Gender Development, COMAGEND, Chris Black's Mindset is titling this particular edition of Let's Talk Beyond the Scars, Healing the Wounds of Gender-Based Violence. As CSOs, NGOs, and the government join forces in the fight against gender-based violence, the deep wounds caused by this plague remain, and healing is urgently needed. These wounds hit children, survivors, and extended family members hardest. Concerns about the lasting impact on these groups, I met with gender-based violence case worker, Madame Munte Florence, who outlined the enduring effects of GBV long after the abuse ends.
Gender-based violence can have severe and long-lasting psychosocial effects on survivors. This may include depression, anxiety, fear, loss of esteem, shame, guilt, post-traumatic stress disorder, that's PTSD, sleep disturbances, social withdrawal, and suicidal thoughts, etc. And many survivors struggle with trust relationships and their sense of safety too. So the impact often affects their ability to work, study, care for their families, and participate fully in community life.
Madame Munte Florence explains that from a professional standpoint, these emotional and psychological scars can be addressed using specific clinical methods.
I would say that community leaders play a critical role in the healing process, but they are not a substitute for professional mental health services. Their training equips them to identify signs of trauma, provide psychosocial first aid, offer emotional support, ensure confidentiality, reduce stigma, and make appropriate referrals. While they can significantly contribute to a survivor's recovery and resilience, complex cases often require specialized psychosocial or clinical interventions. Healing is most effective when community support is linked with professional services.
Contributing their own quota to the fight against gender-based violence and its lingering trauma, Common Action for Gender Development, COMAGEND, is implementing projects that leverage everyday self-care methods and community support to help survivors heal. Some of these methods include storytelling, fireside talks, music, and a host of others. When asked if these known clinical approaches are truly effective and practical, Madame Munte Florence confirms that they are.
Community leaders can support healing through culturally appropriate and survivor-centered approaches, including creating safe and confidential spaces where survivors can share their experiences without judgment, providing psychosocial or psychological first aid, and active listening. Facilitating peer support groups and survivor networks can also be another interesting and a very practical method that they can use. They can encourage families and community support to reduce isolation and stigma. Also, using community dialogue and awareness sessions can challenge harmful norms and promote positive attitudes.
Navigating this path to healing is rarely easy. which is why COMAGEND has taken it upon itself to train community leaders to drive the process locally. Drawn from diverse backgrounds, these leaders are expected to leverage their unique cultural practices to support survivors under the guidance of Madame Munte Florence. Madame Patricia Ngum, a community leader, notes that cultural methods have proven highly effective in her community, encouraging survivors to open up and share during sessions.
So the presence of trained community healers in my community is creating safe spaces for dialogue, fostering trust, and slowly restoring dignity among those who have felt marginalized or silenced. It is clear that this project is not only addressing individual pain, but also laying the foundation for rebuilding stronger, more connected community relationships like we are already experiencing in Meetup. From the training, several methods have proven highly relevant and effective for promoting healing and justice. The practice of active listening and empathy has been particularly impactful and continues to be, allowing us to engage with community members in a non-judgmental and supportive manner.
Madame Patou Baku, a community leader drawn from the Mbororo community, highlights that music, storytelling, and local traditions are playing a vital role in helping survivors reclaim their lives.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Patou Baku ne take magana daga wannan bangaren Inna Abakwa Old Town. Culturally rooted practices often used in communities' healing spaces. Number 1, we talk of Quranic recitation to calm down, which means we have soft group recitation of Quran, supplications, and this can be used in safe spaces for grounding and peace. Many communities use this for emotional regulation and hope. It often done with permission and led by someone knowledgeable. We use storytelling and provide, using Islamic stories of patience, justice, and compassion, and Hausa proverb to talk about dignity, respect, and bodily autonomy in direct, safe ways. Elders often help frame this. Then we also talk on the importance note for your work as a healer. First, we talk of safety first. We do referrals. These community practices are for support and comfort.
Healing from gender-based violence is rarely a linear journey, nor is it one that can be achieved through a single approach. As community-led initiatives like the one COMAGEND is implementing show, blending professional methods with deeply rooted cultural traditions offers survivors a safe space to reclaim their voice and peace. While the fight to eradicate gender-based violence completely continues across our institutions, these localized empathetic spaces ensure that no survivor has to carry the weight of their trauma alone. At this point, we call it a day for this edition of Let's Talk, which we dubbed Beyond the Scars, Healing the Wounds of Gender-Based Violence. This edition is produced by Chris Black's Mindset, with executive producer being Common Action for Gender Development, COMAGEND. I have been your narrator, Amabo Chris Abongwe. You can call me Chris Black, the Black One. Thanking you all who joined us here to listen to this beautiful podcast and get to learn one or two, and why not implement in your community. society. Remember, Let's Talk brings to the table issues in our community, issues that we are afraid of talking about, issues that we shy away from talking about, issues that we need to talk about to the table so that we can talk about them, and why not bring about development in our society. See you on our next episode.